What's up, you guys? Welcome to Fightful. I am Sean Ross Sapp. It's September 10th, 2025. I'm here for your AEW Dynamite post-show review here at Fightful. I will be joined momentarily by Alex Pawlowski. We've got something very fun to plug a little bit later. But right now, you're here. Send a super chat. Send a humper chat. Let us know what you want to talk about as we get into AEW Dynamite. Ended up having some interesting stuff that happened. Today, there was some news that broke out of Saudi Arabia that maybe WrestleMania is headed there. We have a lot more on that on FightfulSelect.com, as well as a report on MJF's insane schedule that's coming up, as he has been announced for Violent Night 2. All that, more, lots on FightfulSelect.com. Why are people asking me where Kate is? Like she has been on this AEW post show like ever. She is literally at the show. Why did two people just ask me this? Drop those fruit emojis. Let us know that you're here. We would greatly appreciate it. Again, I will be joined by Alex Pawlowski shortly over on FightfulSelect.com, where we hope that you will subscribe and support our original coverage. We have Q&A articles every single day. We have Q&A podcasts every single week. Grapsody has a Q&A show tomorrow, and you have daily access to our Discord as well. We had some unfortunate news that we broke this week as well. Wardlow looks like he's going to be sidelined for quite some time. That is unfortunate. Apparently, it happened just right as soon as he came back. The lariat to Nana apparently made it happen, and it is just it's frustrating. It's sad. It's a bummer. It is unfortunate. And I saw some people say, oh, well, that's because he spent so long out of the ring and they benched him. And I'm like, guys, he missed 2024 as a result of injuries. Like he was sidelined with injuries and only got cleared like earlier this year. Then whenever it was that he was ready to go, they had a meeting. He and AEW had a meeting, and they had decided, well, it wouldn't make sense for us to bring you back and then just take you off TV for American Gladiators. So let's bring you back after that. And he filmed the first and second season of American Gladiators, which that is at least a silver lining, that this, huge opportunity that he had, as well as Jesse Goddard's and J-Rod, some other wrestlers. They had Camille had these opportunities, and hopefully now he'll have more of those opportunities. But unfortunately, Wardlow sidelined for the foreseeable future. It's also possible that he could end up, back on TV in some capacity, like maybe even just standing menacingly. We are joined now by the wonderful Alex Pawlowski. Alex, we were just talking about Wardlow and how FightfulSelect.com unfortunately reported the news that he may have suffered another torn pec. I almost said a porn tech. That is so that's what we're doing tomorrow night. But it's very unfortunate news. But some fortunate news, Alex. It's a holiday today.
Is it?
It is Fingered Eve. Because tomorrow, Alex.
It is. Yeah. It's Fingermas Eve.
Yeah. At 10 p.m. Eastern, Alex, yourself and Kate, who was live at AEW Dynamite tonight, will be reviewing Freddy Got Fingered. I will be joining at the top of the show. I am executive producing this program, of which I hope our audience tunes into. I've plugged this numerous times. By now, the lore.
Lots.
By now, you know the lore, and if you need the story of why this is happening, tune in. We have at least one guest. We have your notes are up for all tiers of Fightful Select, and let me tell you, Alex's
so nice.
tiers emerge from this. Alex and Kate review notes for Freddy Got Fingered are now up.
That's good. So everyone, as long as they subscribe, even to the free tier, then they get to they get to know my thoughts ahead of time. And if you haven't watched the movie before and have zero context for the notes, I can only hope that those notes stop you from ever watching this movie.
It is available on Amazon Prime. Maybe these people will like this movie so much they'll pull a Booker T and start popping dick.
When he said that, I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, but
well, hold on, Alex. You might say, wait, saying what?
I gotta pop my dick, man.
There's no other way to take it. I'm sorry. There's no.
If we give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he was actually saying, I've got to pop my neck. I don't know why he would have to pop his neck.
Yeah. Maybe because he's turning it. Maybe he's turning his head.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a. You got to see the chiropractor. You know,
it's quite. That's something there.
Yeah.
But even then, okay. But listen, if you've got to pop your dick, we've got the perfect thing for you. Blue Chew and the code Fightful. Yes, it's what you know. It's what you trust. And if you are in a situation where you got to pop your dick, man, Blue Chew is going to make sure you get there. Maybe you're not quite in the mood and you need to get in the mood. It's going to give you that main event homecoming performance at Blue Chew and the code Fightful. And right now you get your first shipment free. Just pay $5 shipping. That's it. That way Will Ospreay can deliver it to your house after he's retired because he wants to be a postman. But let me tell you, you'll have a special delivery for somebody else. You'll be able to drop off something next to their slot if you know what I'm saying. Maybe they'll let you come around the back door with Blue Chew and the code Fightful. You never know. You never know. And you might say, Sean, this is very embarrassing. This is very awkward. I've got family in the room. Well, guess what? You wouldn't want that if you were ordering Blue Chew, right? Like you don't want to go to the pharmacy and wait in line and have everybody's
privacy. You want
privacy and discretion. Yeah. So you go to bluechew.com, use the code Fightful, you speak with their online physician, and if prescribed, it ships straight to your door discreetly and quietly. But listen, I can't say that it will remain discreet for that long because if your mailman happens to come by the next day, he's going to hear you popping that dick, man. And listen, the whole town might end up knowing it if you're putting on a performance like that.
Yeah.
Zach Schimmel, thank you so much for the super chat. Meet Norman says, here's a small sack of money for puppets. Since my Commanders are playing the Packers, I'm making brats for the game. Alex, would you like some sausage?
I would love if the sausage is brats, I'll take 2.
Okay. What kind of foods? You know what? I'll save it for tomorrow. I'll save it for tomorrow.
Okay, fine.
10 p.m. Eastern.
10 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. All right.
Joshua, actually, listen, I'm going to ask Luis kindly, if it refers to a match, please apply the chat to the match. Yeah. Brian Danielson has been added to commentary full-time. I'm excited about this. I am happy about this. This is good stuff, Alex.
Me too, especially with the development we just got at the very end of the show. Because I feel like he will have a very unique perspective on what's going on with that. And I think that's really cool. When you get a commentator who has a unique perspective, some history with a major player and a top storyline, it's always better because they have they have observations that they can relay that might be different from other people. I like that a lot.
We had Hangman Page defeat Josh Alexander in a very fun, messy fight. Yes. And it was like a technical fight. They were suplexing each other mid-brawl. Yes. It was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
Alex, listen, what I like is they gave Josh Alexander a couple of pinfall wins
Yes,
leading to
recently
this
they
as
have,
well,
yeah.
which is something that you need to do. I just loved this. I thought this was really great. And AEW has really leaned into having a big star kick off the show with a match, whether it be John Moxley, Hangman Page. I think that's a great way to get people immediately into your show. You put something right there that they can tune into and they can see a big talent on the show. And there's no starting the show with, again, an absence of big stars or anything like that. You get it straight out of the gate. Love this.
Yeah. Listen, Josh Alexander's a fantastic talent, and
Yes, he is.
I feel like, you never can tell with, certain people might be out. You have certain things catch fire, whatever, about whether or not he winds up holding a title in the next couple of years. But even if he doesn't, like the addition of what a great professional wrestler he is. The addition of him to the Don Callis family. Listen, the Don Callis family is getting so big. We're going to have to do a Don Callis family White and a Don Callis family Hollywood, Don Callis family Wolfpack. We're going to have to do it at some point, and I'm really intrigued to see which part of the faction he goes with. But he is, he's so great in these tag matches where he can get pinfall victories. You believe him as a legitimate threat to maybe not beat Hangman for the title, but to F him up so that he can't go at full speed when he's facing Kyle Fletcher. I think this was a really fun match, and both guys are so great. I really have enjoyed a lot of Josh Alexander's work before he got here, but he's done a very good job in what could be considered by a lot of wrestlers to be a very thankless role.
Sure.
Another guy in the heel faction of the du jour, and he's wrestling a lot, but not in important single storylines. But he has handled it so well and done such a great job with it.
A few of the spots that I really loved. Again, Josh Alexander spamming suplexes was good, but Hangman pulling away and making Alexander like just fly into the ropes early into the match was a really nice spot as well. There was the rolling Samoan drop, but it was like a leap from the second rope.
Yeah.
It was just really, really good stuff there. And Josh Alexander is, again, quite the kind of guy to have in these spots, and a guy who has been to the mountaintop of TNA and did really, really well at it. I just thought this match was fantastic.
Wonderful.
We're going to have some news this week on AEW All Out. And listen, the WrestleMania Saudi Arabia thing is probably going to take center stage for a lot of stuff because I'm finding out a lot more about that. We have a lot more details for subscribers of FightfulSelect.com because, quite frankly, it seems like old dude over in Saudi like jumped the gun, and they were supposed to announce it Friday at the Terrence Crawford Canelo weigh-in because it's a TKO promoted thing sponsored by Riyadh Season. FightfulSelect.com has more. Don't worry. But I'm going to have some very interesting all-out news, creative stuff. But Kyle Fletcher comes out, and what I can say is some of it involves him. I'll say some of those details involve him. But this is something that came together pretty quick. And Hangman Page morphs. He just Shang Tsungs into Stevie Richards and says, you know what? You're not ready. You're not ready. No. You need some seasoning. But what he more specifically says is, you're a very talented person. And what I saw when I see you is me in 2019 looking at Chris Jericho. And I know that you're not ready. And Fletcher goes, yeah, I've heard that shit plenty. He's like, I'm in my prime. I decide when I'm in my prime. All that. And Hangman, while criticizing him for not wearing socks, says, okay, I'll give you a shot at this title because I know that you're talented, but what I'm going to need from you in order to get this is you're going to need to leave everybody behind. You're going to need to leave Don Callis behind, Don Callis family behind. Don't bring them out, and please wear socks. What I loved was from an on-screen standpoint, Alex, a lot of times that I get frustrated with like random ass world title matches, which this one is a champion versus champion. And I'm like, well, do that. Obviously, some things have adjusted in recent weeks with AEW. They lost a lot of top talent. But this was Hangman saying, okay, here's a condition, and then I'll give you what it is that you want.
Right.
But you're going to provide me this. I thought this made an incredible amount of sense. I thought both of them kicked ass. I thought they did a phenomenal job. And I also loved them beating home men's world championship.
Yes.
That's something they like. And
doing
also, they really highlighted the fact that Chuck Taylor is a visionary, and we're going to see more man-on-man in AEW, Alex. I know that I spoke at length there, but I wanted to cover the entirety of that as these two men are going to be covering one another very soon.
Yeah, no, that's there will be a conscious coupling of these two men when they fight each other, when they tussle. I liked a lot of the same things you did. I think that there's an extra part of it with Hangman that could have been articulated, because what I got out of it was not paternalistic, but like an older brother. I've been there before. I know what it's like. That whole thing of like, I see you when I was facing, I see myself in you when I was that version of me facing Chris Jericho. So I don't want you to, I think you're such an incredible talent. The problem is that you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people. Like that's part of it too. The thing of it is there's not a parallel to draw there with Hangman, because Hangman was, when he was healed, never had a fleet of dudes around ready to run interference for him. He was just on his own. He was, the lone wolf type of guy. But I think there's something there like, you're absolutely good enough to beat me on any given night. If you do beat me for that title, you're going to want to have done it by yourself, because that will haunt you. You're winning your first world title because Don Callis stabs me with a screwdriver. That's going to haunt you when you're my age, that you didn't do it on your own. People are always going to tell you that you didn't do it on your own. That's not something you want. You need to come out there, because if you can beat me by yourself, well, hot damn, you do deserve. You are ready to be the champion. I think that there's a really cool subtle layer there of that, because you cannot look at objectively at what Kyle Fletcher has been doing and say he's not talented enough to be the top guy, because he absolutely is, regardless of how old he is. And I think that there's part of that too, is it's not Hangman cutting the guy down. He's saying how great he is. You're young. And part of why you're not ready is because you have chosen to surround yourself with these other dudes. That proves that you're not quite ready.
And I envision a situation where Hangman wins, and then afterwards he just says, I was wrong. You are ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sure. I think that Fletcher will actually use that as heel fuel instead. Like, I don't need you to endorse me. I don't need you to do that.
Yep.
We have Jambeard saying, just curious, any updates on Ruby Soho for a potential return? I've noticed September, to remember, graphic looks a lot like her entrance. I don't think that's anything. I don't think that's like a reference, but I mean, she gave birth, I want to say, about 10 and a half months ago. From what I understood, they don't rush people back. Like like if they're told, hey, whenever you want to come back, you can, type of thing. Mm-hmm. But I had always been told that on maternity leave, they kind of give them plenty of time and all that stuff and adjusting. I think she had been in the ring a little bit, but I haven't heard anything regarding her coming back, so to speak. How was this the most ECW of the residency? Wow, AEW. They had some nice stuff. I'm sure they also probably wish they could have had RVD there, but he's healing from a double heel fracture and all that stuff as well. I do hope that like I kind of hope that we see like a little Tony Storm Sandman thing tomorrow. Like, here's a fun fact. Did you know the Sandman has wrestled a match every year since 1989? I think I told you this.
You have told me this, and
I mean wrestled.
Yeah,
but it's crazy. Did you see the Hacksaw Jim Duggan clip?
No, I didn't see that.
So he did a panel with Brian Myers and Matt Cardona, and Myers is like a big ECW historian. And they mentioned randomly, like, hey, you were teaming with Hacksaw Jim Duggan in 2007 in WWE. He goes, yeah, Hacksaw came to me and he goes, they just told me they want to put the titles on us. And then Sandman goes, well, tell them not to. And then he goes, I don't want to work live events. I don't want to do house shows. Who's going to do the work? He's like, it's just going to be both of us standing on the apron the whole time.
Well, tell him not to is the most Bryan Danielson ever. Just like, no, I'm not winning. I will not. I refuse to win. I choose not to win.
I remember when Raven crucified Sandman. They had Raven go back out and apologize to the crowd for it. And they tried to have Sandman do it. And he said, I can't do that. It's not Easter yet. Go figure.
Yeah.
Dematic, the producer, says Keith Lee update. He said that it's not in his hands and he indicated he's okay. But like, listen, wrestlers talk in riddles an awful lot. And whenever I ask about him these days, like, I don't get a straight answer. I know it was not AEW's plan to have this guy out for like 2 years. Yeah. It just wasn't. Like they wanted this guy to come in and do something substantial. I know that wasn't the ideal situation, but his health was the most important thing. It just sucks. Like, man, we've lost 2 years of this guy. Yeah, and
he's great.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And I mean, not just that, we lost a lot of time during the pandemic as well. The unified title match is announced. And also we've got Okada versus Michael Oku, Takeshita versus Bowens, Mascara Dorada versus Mortos as the qualifiers for such. Cool.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense, like logistically. It's interesting that that's how they got there. It's interesting that Okada could technically lose the unified title to Michael Oku and then just not be in the title match. I'm assuming that's how it would work.
I don't know how it would work.
Qualifying matches. So if he lost to Michael Oku and there's a match for the unified title, but he's not in it, he's no longer the champion. So we expect certainly Okada and Takeshita to advance, and almost certainly Dorada. Almost certainly.
Yes.
So
and then Dorada ends up getting pinned.
That, of course, he gets pinned. Maybe Okada steals the pin from Takeshita. Like they've already done a lot of really good stuff to like build that bubbling tension there. That kind of thing, Takeshita in line for the win and Okada snakes it out from under him, is the perfect thing to get Takeshita's dander up and actually start like the real feud that goes into the fall. It'd be great.
Get in your super chats, get in your humper chats. We would greatly appreciate that. Also, check out our shorts tab if you're watching on YouTube. We have some interviews that have went up. Kate actually did interviews with Layla and Chris Bay that are going up this week. Chi-Town Spurs says 2 full women's matches and it didn't seem out of place at all. Hopefully we don't have to wait another 8 months to get that again. Well, I hope not as well, but I got to say that tag match sucked. And you know what? I shouldn't even say that tag match sucked. I thought Riho was really bad, noticeably bad in this match.
There's some ring rust.
There's a lot of ring rust.
Yeah.
I thought the offense looked bad. She looked exhausted very, very quickly. But one of the things that I noticed the most that drove me nuts, and I have a lot more leeway when it comes to smaller wrestlers than other people. I watched smaller people in the gym beat the living shit out of bigger people. Yeah. But when you're doing that and you pin people, The way that Riho pins people, that roll up, Stone Cold Steve Austin with a broken neck rolling up Owen Hart looked as impactful. I was like, what are you doing? And Emi Sakura, who outweighs her, and this isn't Emi's a big girl thing. She's a normal sized woman. Riho is a very small woman.
Yeah.
The pin was horrible. The one where she had no weight on the shoulders. If you are, whatever weight Riho is, small, and you're not trying to put any weight on your opponent's shoulders, I don't know what you're doing there. The only offense of hers that I looked at and said, oh, that was good, was the Mercedes drop kick. But even when like Riho did a running head scissors to Mercedes, look at how Mercedes lands and look at how Riho lands. And you're like, damn, that looks like it hurt Riho a lot more. Mm-hmm. And I understand Riho has been out of the ring since July of last year. And the reality is she got hurt in that match too. So her last actual match that she had that she wasn't hurt in was March of 2024. So I am sitting there saying, yes, there is a lot of rust there, to the point to where this type of thing isn't usually noticeable to this degree on American wrestling television. And I think that they got to get Riho a match or two before All Out, because I'll tell you what ain't going to happen. Mercedes Moné ain't going to hold up. Mercedes Moné is not going to let anything go.
Yeah, this is tough because obviously I'm like, she's here and they've decided, okay, well, you're back with you haven't had a match in a year and a half. So here's the title match. That's a bad decision no matter who it is. No matter if you're a big fan of this person or not. You haven't had a match in a year and a half. Here's a title match. Is a bad decision, I think. And then now you do this thing, and it's clear that she needs a lot of reps. But you only have 10 days to get her those reps. That's hard to do. I think somebody in the chat was saying, like, figure out a way to like get Alex Windsor in there make it a triple threat so that you can hide Riho if you need to. You know what I mean? Like if she's, she doesn't seem to be in the best ring shape. And I don't know, but like I just feel like perhaps it was just a bad idea to be like, hey, person who's been out for 18 months, here's a title match on a pay-per-view. Seems like a bad idea.
Yes. This is something that AEW has to do better. AEW needs to not put people in these situations where they have big matches off of really long layoffs. Right. Because you don't know what it's... I think Britt Baker was in that same situation, and LaRon Ford brings it up. Why do they keep giving people matches on pay-per-view after long layoffs? They did the same thing with Britt. To me, I think it's setting them up for failure as well. I don't think that's the thing to do, and you might be able to say, well, keep yourself in ring shape. Yeah. Easier said than done. Look at all that Britt wrestled through. Broken leg, broken wrist, broken nose. And then she finally took time off, and what did you expect?
Right. The Britt thing, I think that was a long time coming. Like, if we're bringing in Mercedes, the girl she's got to wrestle from here is Britt, because Britt is so synonymous. At the time she was brought in, Britt was still very synonymous with the AEW women's division on the whole since its inception. And you know who else is that? Riho. And it does feel like there is a bit of a parallel storytelling here with a person who's synonymous with AEW versus Mercedes, the amazing signee that was brought into AEW, who's trying to take over the AEW women's division. Like, that feels like it's the same basic idea. And I just feel like it's I don't want it to wind up casting a pall over that match that Rio's just not ready to be back yet. She's been gone for a year and a half. This isn't like Jamie Hayter, who's been gone since Double or Nothing. Like, it's 4 months is not 18 months. There's a very big difference there.
And we have Moné, I believe it is, says why they aren't even trying to hide the fact that Riho is a placeholder match and Windsor is the one they care about. Riho deserves better. Well, let's hold on there, because Riho just came back and she's immediately, and by the looks of it, unpreparedly getting a TBS title match with one of the most important talent in AEW history at this point. Okay, so let's look at what she did before. She came back from injury, can't help that, but she had a handful of matches in 2024. What did she do right before that? What was she doing at AEW World's End? She was wrestling Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World title like 5 matches ago. Okay, well, what did she do before that? Well, she was out for 8 months. What did she do before that? She wrestled Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's World title. Of her last 10 matches in AEW, 2 of them are world title matches.
And it's possible it'll be it's possible it's going to be 3 out of 11 matches.
Yes.
If she just, that's crazy.
Like, let's scoot it back a little bit further. You can go 25 matches back. Once All Out happens, in her previous 25 matches, it will include a TBS title match and 3 Women's World's title, because she took on Britt Baker at Battle of the Belts. Like, come on now. Like, when she stays in the ring, and listen, you cannot predict injuries. I'm not injury shaming her or anything like that. No. She's given a lot of screen time and opportunities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Jambeard says, that sounds right. That's how the C2 works as well. Okada as the champ might not make it to the C2 finals of the C2 as well. I don't think I don't think the unified champion should be in the C2 anymore. I think the reward for the C2 should be facing the unified champion.
I agree. I don't know if they'll move away from that. But I think they should. The way it was, where you're defending the title within it. I think that your title shot against you should be the prize for winning that. I think is possible.
Yeah, I agree. We get the FTR and then CNC, I guess is their name. Video package, and I thought it was a good video package, but Stokeley didn't think so. He goes,
yes,
the video package was bullshit.
Yeah.
They're not happy about it. And okay. Let's talk about the thing that people super chatted. Before, you know what? What were your thoughts on the Stokeley promo? Because I thought it was very good.
He's a very good promo. Like he cuts a very good promo. We all enjoy Stoke and his non-getting of hoes, and how that has really gotten to him over the years. This was what a fantastic way to manufacture heat. Like, we already don't like these guys. Why we have to have them joining at ringside with people? Like,
buddy,
no one's manufactured heat quite like this since the first caveman harnessed fire.
Well, buddy, as Joshua says, this MF spitting. They endeared themselves to some AEW fans because they got into the face. Jay Farley says, can we take a moment of silence for that Twitter troll Brandon guy getting punked on national TV, then crying to Dax that he blocked him? It was truly quite funny. So, Alex, let me tell you how this unfolds. I'm sitting here.
Person, so please,
I'm about to educate you.
Please let me know.
So I look on screen. I go, why does that guy look so familiar? And I go, oh, my God. That is the absolute dipshit who was saying got weird over wrestling stuff last week, making weird claims. Now, for the last number of months, I have seen him be loudly wrong on Twitter. Listen, that happens sometimes. I'll just correct you. And that happens pretty often. This dude started to say some outright weirdo shit to me last week. And we had a little conversation back and forth. But Alex, I did a little digging. Because listen, I saw this guy get roasted because everybody noticed. He is a perpetual TKO glazer. but beyond it, you can be a TKO Glazer, whatever. You like your companies, but he hates everything AEW. But where was he tonight? What did he spend his money on tonight?
And a very good seat, by the way.
Very good seat. Hard to get a bad seat in that one.
Yeah.
But I did a little digging and I was like, what did he say? And he said, and I quote, "You want to block me on Twitter, bitch? I'll beat your ass." End quote. Now, Alex.
Okay. All right.
And one of the quotes when I reached out said, "I actually found out about that after. Just needed an easy target, and he looked like the biggest bitch." Completely anonymous quote there.
Just can't. No, who could have possibly said that?
Maybe it was Stokely.
Perhaps
Okay.
it could have been Stokeley. You never know.
And listen, normally I wouldn't give attention to this kind of thing, but that gentleman was extremely fucking weird to me, saying very unusual things last week. But I often say, like, when people whine about me blocking them on Twitter, I'm like, come on. Like, would you say that out loud in public around people?
Yeah.
Sean, you blocked me. I've had that happen to me one time. Think of all the people I've blocked, Alex. I blocked thousands of people. If I get a mildly weird vibe about somebody, I'm going to block you because I just assume you can handle it. You're an adult, grown man. I don't got to block. Most women don't even say weird enough stuff to get blocked, right? Like they're just like, whatever, and move on. Yeah. But I had one person complain about being blocked. I'm going to share the experience with you. I was at Rep Arena with my lovely wife and Alexis Littlefoot, who is an indie wrestler. Yes. Some guy goes, "Sean, you're soft. You blocked me." And then the woman that was with him said, and I quote, "He made the right choice." End quote.
Perfect.
This is how your own friends, maybe significant others, will think of you if you complain about another grown man blocking you on Twitter, especially in person. You know how weird it is to say to somebody, "Yeah, well, you blocked me on Twitter." Who gives a heck or a hoot? I give neither. I give neither.
Yeah.
Can't believe we live in a society where middle-aged men are out there, IRL, complaining about who blocked them on Twitter.
Yep.
Jane Beard says the fact that they used the Hockey Night in Canada theme song for the video package was absolute perfection. So I didn't know that.
That's a great choice. It's a great choice.
It is a great choice. We have a Ricochet.
Although I could understand why Stokeley would have a problem with that video package then, because that's definitely playing favorites.
Yes, it is.
Because obviously, who are you saying this video package is about then? It's about the Canada guys.
He gave both a heck and a hoot there.
He did.
Ricochet and GOA promo where Ricochet wants Hurt Syndicate to stay in the back. So
I'll make a little gentleman's agreement with you.
And Shelton's like, all right. And of course, Shelton's like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And what I love is, like, we've seen a lot of this in AEW lately where they're like, leave everybody in the back. And Ricochet just lies. He just lies.
Sure.
He's just a liar.
Yes.
Because Shelton Benjamin was beating the absolute dog shit out of him. Yep. I mean, just abusing Ricochet. And I just love that this man lied. Like, that's the whole thing. Yes. He goes, "No, I'm not like Kyle Fletcher. I'm not like Hangman Page. I'm not like any of these people. I'm just going to lie."
Right. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I said when the Hurt Syndicate lost the titles, like, I didn't have a problem with them as tag team champs, but if them not being the champions anymore means I get to watch Shelton Benjamin wrestle singles matches again, I'm all for it. This was tremendous. Like, Shelton Benjamin, we were robbed of that man for years. that he could have been doing this kind of stuff for years and was doing it whenever he got the chance to do it on Main Event for 5 minutes at a clip, when this is what he was capable of. Like, man, the suplexes are one thing. We know about the suplexes. That man throws super kicks. Like other guys, everyone else throws kicks. His are the only kicks that are super. Like, he was decapitating Ricochet on multiple occasions. Ricochet's head rolled across the ring. He went and found it, screwed it back on, only for it to be removed from his shoulders yet again. This was fantastic. And I love the way Ricochet sold everything. When he got hit by one of these kicks, he took it like he was shot by a cannon. Like, it's great. He's so good at this thing. The knee in the corner. I've never seen somebody take a knee in the corner by putting all their weight on their arms in the corner and their feet just draped behind the bottom turnbuckle. That was phenomenal. All of this was great. Ricochet is an amazing wrestler, but one of the things that he does, and the first time I was ever exposed to this guy was when he was Prince Puma. And on Lucha Underground, his selling, the way he would take a move, always made the move look like it should have killed a normal man. But he is Spider-Man, and therefore he has regenerative powers. Like this, I really love this match, man.
Brian more or less says, I would have killed to watch Ricochet Shelton. Instead, I got it for free. TK saving lives with this booking. Listen, I've made it abundantly clear, like, among my personal favorite wrestlers, like Too Cold Scorpio, I got to watch wrestle into his 50s. Shelton Benjamin, I get to watch wrestle into his 50s.
Yeah.
Adam Copeland was one of my favorite wrestlers. I get to watch him wrestle into his 50s. Like, this is, thank God for modern science. Although I'm pretty sure that Too Cold Scorpio's only modern science is a little bit of weed. So there's that as well. But also, I love that. Have you seen that highlight video of his that's been going around lately?
No, not lately. I've seen highlight videos of his, but not recently.
Insane. In Simmons says both men literally put life into this feud with one match that I felt like neither men went into the third gear for. Shelton, for me, is top dude. Hurt Syndicate and GOA is so great. The crowd wants this feud now. Yes, they and you can tell that to the Hurt Syndicate, helping GOA is something that is important to them as well. And it's something that, listen, MVP made sure that information was out there as this stuff was getting reported on Fightful Select. He wanted to work with this group of people to the point to where he does not wrestle much anymore. And he's like, okay, we will. Although I think we might be seeing some new Hurt Syndicate members soon.
Ooh, interesting.
How about this? How about I put a name in the chat and or the private chat, and you will be surprised.
Oh, will I? Okay, I'm very excited.
And I'm gonna see if you're pleasantly surprised or not. Okay. You ready?
Oh, good. No. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm clicking. Here we go. Hey. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Surprising, right?
Right. Surprised. Absolutely surprised.
This is how Alex and I do our GIFs, our GIF teases, right? This is how we do it. I just tell him, that way I have a witness if it happens before I can report it. People are saying Hook. No, it isn't Hook. But
no, Hook did drop a hint that he will find somebody else to be teaming with, but it's not Hook.
And if it was that, I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate Hook in the Hurt Syndicate.
No. Yeah.
And then eventually, guess what happens? Hook, who, listen, I like how they tied this in. Like, we had questions about Hook and Samoa Joe and the Ops, and he was like, I was heated. He goes, then Samoa Joe explained it to me, and I understood it because I played sports my whole life. I saw it's always next man up. You know what? It's not like a violent end that leads to a feud, but it is something that makes a ton of sense. And I like that because, quite frankly, there's a lot of people that don't know Hook's background because he is shrouded in some relative mystery. I love that he played off of that. I thought that this promo style, short to the point, it explained a lot, it accomplished a lot. It left a cliffhanger as well, left a big question mark there.
Yeah.
I thought this was a great,
that was
great
a
use
really great, very effective little promo. I love that before the last little sentence, I was ready to accept. Yeah, Hook goes back into a singles run. Sure, why not? Like, it's time for Hook to go out by himself, or maybe not. I was like, oh, well, that's a very intriguing as well. Before we go away from the Ricochet thing entirely,
yes,
I wanted to say the little things that guy does pop me to no end.
He's so good.
He wins because of a headbutt from Toa Leona, which completely just knocks out Benjamin, so he can't kick out of the roll up. But when MVP and Lashley come out to run in to keep GOA busy, Ricochet kind of gets back to his feet and is excited about it, but turns around and Shelton has recovered long enough to hit him with a giant super kick, and he is done. Ricochet has nothing. He's got nothing left. He is basically being with his own guys, also being dragged. He is being dragged by security, and he is almost asleep, but throws up both hands in the air, as jubilant as he is semi-conscious. You can see his little heels being dragged as they're pulling him backstage because he won the match. But man, he needs to be checked for all kinds of concussion protocols. Fantastic.
Yes. Joshua D says, is Luchasaurus injured again? Oh, I might change my name to Staple Ass Jones. Well, I haven't heard about Luchasaurus being injured again. Haven't heard that, but I am curious as to where he is. But this hardcore match, Toni Storm paid homage to the Sandman.
Yeah.
And it got very ECW to the ability that they could. How'd you feel about this?
I never saw Sandman take any staples to the butt cheeks. That was not a thing I ever saw in ECW. But of course, Toni Storm says, let's do a staple gun spot. Where am I going to staple you? In the buns, hun. It's perfect. And this was a lot of fun. The mousetrap table reveal was great. I thought that was really ingenious. The fan sign that actually was a street sign underneath the paper was a cool little plant. This was great. The women in AEW always kill it with their oh God, what was the phrase that WWE used all those years ago to describe it? Whenever the women do a hardcore match, there's a specific phrase that they use to say. I don't remember what it was, but it was a meme at the time. This was excellent, and I think Skye Blue has proved that she absolutely belongs in these kinds of matches, one-on-one with the world champion. I really loved it.
Tom Lawler, I don't think it is that Tom Lawler, but it'd be lovely if it was. Says Skye Blue rivaling Silent Bob's buddy Jay as the Clit Commander. Seriously though, got to show out a vicious hardcore match. Maybe a little sad no one got lit on fire.
Yeah.
Yes. And also there was the RJ VHS, which was a nice touch. The RJ audition.
Yeah. I remember now what WWE referred to it as. Gory self-mutilation is what they called it when the ladies had a hardcore match on a Rampage episode. They referred to it as gory self-mutilation. Yeah, sure. With a staple gun in the butt.
Meat Enormous says, Toni versus Skye buttered my biscuits. They stapled each other in places we don't talk about at parties. The four-way should be a hoot. Too soon for Tekla? What do you think? Do you think it is too soon for Tekla?
I mean, not as a part of a four-way. You know what I mean? She's a representative of her little band of misfits that keep giving hell to all the good guys, the good girls in the women's division. I think that she's probably the right one to do that. She's always looked like she's always incredibly interesting to me in the ring. and as part of a four-way that also includes Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, and Chris Statlander, sure. I mean, I if she was having a one-on-one match on a pay-per-view, I would say probably. But as part of a four-pack, I feel like it could work.
Roderick Wildman says, appreciate what TK is doing to set up the women's title match, but feels like they are ignoring all the work Tekla and Queen Aminata did. Seems like they should be rewarded with a big marquee match. Well, I don't think that this is necessarily doing that. I did think that I thought the post match was kind of clunky because you had Jamie kind of like got slow getting into the ring and they had to wait on her and all that stuff. But it came together kind of clunky, but I don't think this is taking away from Aminata and Tekla. I hope that this supplements that, Alex.
Yeah. No, I mean, I still firmly believe there's a blood and guts for the women on the horizon. And I think that Aminata will be prominently featured in that as well. Where was isn't that basically what Harley Cameron was singing to Willow about? You know what I mean? Like she says at one point, join our team, which to me seems like it's a team of 5 women who are facing another team of 5 women inside a steel cage of some kind with 2 rings. That's what it seemed like to me when she was singing her song. But yeah, I think that there is a lot of they've got a really deep bench of women in AEW and all kinds of great women who are doing stuff. Ty J seemed like they were poised to be a major deal when Ty Mello came back, and they've kind of been off TV for a while. So I think let's say post All Out, I think Tony Khan's got to just go ahead and reveal those women's tag team title belts. You have enough women who are healthy. You might not after All Out. So let's if you have your roster as pretty much healthy after All Out, please reveal those tag team titles and get Ty J back together. Figure out a way to put these Meganelope could easily be a tag team together. If we're gonna bring, I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm still holding out hope for it. But Marina could need help from a certain person who's a friend of hers. That would be a great tag team. So yeah, I would think that the tag team titles it's a perfect time to do this.
It is always a perfect time to subscribe to NordVPN.
Yes.
If you aren't watching wrestling with NordVPN.com/Fightful, you are not watching wrestling in the best way. I know times are tough. Money is tight. NordVPN.com/Fightful can eliminate your cable bill if you just watch wrestling. You can watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and PLEs on Netflix by changing your virtual location with just one click. You can watch pay-per-views at a much more affordable price when you change that virtual location and get the prices they're getting overseas. In addition, all the wonderful features that we haven't even mentioned. But right now, you save big. 4 extra months free and a 30-day money-back guarantee when you use NordVPN.com/Fightful. By the end of this subscription, you're going to be saving money. NordVPN.com/Fightful. Tom LaValle says, I think it may be stats time. We will see. This is in relation to the Penelope and Statland, or the Penelope and Willow promo as well. Willow calls out Marina Shafir. She is interested in Harley Cameron and her proposition to team with her, but she says, I am not getting involved with Chris Statlander.
Which is weird because she was just as part of an woman tag team match with her. If she hadn't just done that like 3 weeks ago, I would be more okay with this response. But you've just been in a team with her. So to basically like not only say, no, I won't team with her ever again, but also you need to watch your back around her because we know who her real friends are. And I hope after tonight, we don't just do the Death Riders add another person who turns heel and joins them. I hope that what happened tonight signifies that Statlander will not end up joining the Death Riders because that would be too easy right now.
The Young Bucks are backstage in actual catering, regular catering, trying to find a place to sit. Dark Order and Blake Christian, among others, won't let them sit there. Then they try to sit with Brandon Cutler, and Brandon Cutler even says no to them. He won't have it. But Jon Moxley shows up in phenomenal spot where everybody darts from the table when Jon Moxley shows up.
Yes.
And he's like, here's the deal. $500,000, the whole purse for tonight's match goes to you if we win. Remember that. You're the best tag team in the world. I have been fascinated with what Moxley has been doing the last few months. I think it's the right place on the card. I think it's helping the right talent. I'm very interested in it.
Yeah. Did their salaries go from like several, like in the high six figures to over seven figures to zero? Because that's basically what this is telling me, is that they're
on a tiered deal.
Maybe they're on a tiered deal. They only get, maybe that's it now. But that seems like that. Just no longer EVPs doesn't mean we don't pay you to wrestle anymore. So yeah, it is an odd thing. Also, hey, don't DoorDash from a steakhouse. By the time that gets to your hotel room, it's going to be all soggy, and if it's not cold, it's never good. You actually have to go to the steakhouse to get the real good steak. Don't DoorDash from a steakhouse. As a guy who used to DoorDash, like actually deliver, it takes way too long to get from the restaurant to where you are, and then you complain, well, yeah, but you ordered something and then I had to drive it a half hour to your thing. Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, but you get that $5 discount from DoorDash automatically because they don't even want to deal with you. They'll just give you their cut as opposed to dealing with you.
That's true.
There was, let me tell you, a fun, well, it wasn't fun for me, DoorDash story. I love Cheez-Its. I don't get to eat them much anymore, but I love a good Cheez-It, right? I don't like the ones with that crappy seasoning on it. Give me extra toasty or OG. That's it.
Okay.
I hate Taco Bell. Really, really hate Taco Bell. I do not like it. But they introduced a Cheez-It tostada.
Yeah.
And it's very simple. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. It was actually not terrible. It wasn't good, but it was not terrible. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a second try. I ordered it on DoorDash, and it came with an empty bag and a note inside that said, "We don't have Cheez-Its no more. No refund." It was just a large note on a napkin. "We don't have Cheez-Its no more. Cheez-It no more" is what it said.
That's bad. Yeah.
My gosh. N. Simmons says, hot take, I think Hayter should win and the title revolve around her, Tekla and Amanada for the next few months. Any thoughts on that?
I wouldn't hate it. Pun intended. Jamie Hayter. I like it. I think that when you have across all of the AEW brands, including ROH, you have these women who simply are champions forever. And I think it would be good to like at least take one of them, if not two of the titles, and spread out the wealth a little bit more. Jamie Hayter is a former champion, but wasn't champion for that long. Has been a long time since she has been champion. I feel like that's fine. I would love to see a few first-time ever champions in the women's division. I think Amanada is a great shout. I think she's been doing such great work. I would love to see her be a champion before, March of 2026. And I think that there's a really cool opportunity to create some rivalries where you can hot potato for a couple of months and see what happens. But yeah, I like that pairing, if you can do a pairing of three people. But Hayter, Amanada, and Tekla could be a lot of fun around the top division.
We get the 10-man tag. Death Riders and Young Bucks do end up winning. Wheeler Yuta is very over there as well. And they end up defeating the Ops and Brodito. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts of the match before we get into the post-match?
I mean, it's an all-star 10-man tag. And all of them are very, very good. This is a fun match. A little detail that's always fun is, where early in the match you get the comedy spots of we're all brawling in the ring, and the Young Bucks get in late, and the only two guys they have left to brawl with are Hobbs and Brody King, and they're like, we're just gonna get back out of the ring, and then of course they don't let them do that. This is fun stuff. Bandito getting pinned is an odd choice to me as the consensus wrestler of the year. Gets pinned, by a weird little shenanigans move. I think the Young Bucks were clever to do it, but that could have easily been Shibata, and it wouldn't have hurt as much. I think the ROH champion, also co-champions. I mean, you're building to Young Bucks versus Brodito. I get that part, but I think that's kind of my thing with the ROH champion, who looks unbeatable and has amazing matches in ROH, also being the AEW tag champion. And how do you set up a feud for the tag titles? Well, one of your two tag champions has to get pinned by them in a non-title match. And if it's also the ROH singles champion, that feels odd to me. But the match was great. Everybody did a fantastic job in it.
The other Mikey V says when BCC first started up, they mentioned Lee Moriarty, Danny, and Yuta. They have 2 of the 3. Could they swing Moriarty? I don't see that happening right now, but we did get one of them after a great side angle that has been unfolding with Daniel Garcia and Jon Moxley, including the match. Darby Allin came out to make the save, and then he was attacked, and it's Daniel Garcia siding with the Death Riders. This is something that I think Daniel Garcia needed.
Yeah. It's also, here's the thing about Danny that's so great, is that we are always going to root for him. Even when he is making the wrong decision, you understand why he felt like he had to. Like it just wasn't working out for him. Like he was doing amazing stuff but he could not figure out how to close the deal in any of these big time matches. He was the TNT champ, but the reign didn't feel like it was anything. And I think maybe it almost feels like it was on purpose. Let's make him the TNT champ in November, put him in the C2 so he can try and win that. But he then loses a bunch of matches while he's the TNT champ. He loses a bunch of matches in the C2. And he loses the thing to Adam Cole, and he never really has a chance. Like he wants to get the title back, but he can't because Adam Cole gets hurt, and he wants to come after Kyle Fletcher. That doesn't work out for him. He's trying to be a winner. Who's the biggest winner overall throughout all of AEW? It's Moxley, who has been kind to him and been giving him advice and being like, you almost beat me, kid. Good for you. And like, okay, well, maybe if I study under the tutelage of Jon Moxley, then I might be able to be a winner eventually. All I care about is being a winner at some point. And you understand why he's doing it, even if he's making the wrong choices. So when eventually he wises up and gets away from the Death Riders, we will be ready to love him again. I think the kind of heat he's going to draw is a heat of, we really wish you had made different choices. We're not mad. We're just disappointed. I think there's a really cool story for that to be his overall arc here. And I loved that Danielson on commentary when he was doing a full, like the old stomp thing, the curb stomp, the real one.
The tying up the legs,
tying the legs into the Dragon Tamer, but then turning around, grabbing the arms and doing the stomp. Obviously, he missed the chair the first time, but them doing it again, that one landed. But I loved Danielson just quietly, almost to himself. Oh, Danny, no. Like he was the guy who championed Danny Garcia the most. There was that great promo here. It was like, I wanted Danny Garcia to be my son, and he chose Jericho instead. I've never forgiven him for it. And maybe, because you know how Danielson is, the character he's playing on commentary recognizes that him writing off Garcia may have been the thing that started to lead him down this path. There's such great psychological stuff you can play with here.
Jane Beard says Red Death Rider. And Thomas says, you wanted to destroy the Death Riders, not join them. Needs to be a promo line from someone to Garcia with this turn. Yes. I mean, this, you could see in his reaction, it was a moral conflict for him.
Yeah.
So that's got to play out as well.
And that's a Darby to Danny Garcia promo for sure.
And Jan Beard is saying, is next year Moriarty as well. I don't know how long the Death Riders are going to. I mean, the Death Riders have been around for God, how long now? 4 years?
Well, if you include the time as the Blackpool Combat Club,
I mean, it's the same group. It's the same group.
It's an entirely different ethos, and what they're striving to is different. But I agree with you.
Sure,
you could absolutely see it from your point of view. I totally get it. My thing is, with Danny there, now you've got the trio again that doesn't include Moxley, because you got Danny, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio. And like, I could absolutely, I'm not saying I want it, but I could absolutely see them getting the trios titles back now. But Danny is part of this now, so like he would be a champion. It would be him being a champion again, which is something that he wanted. And like Mox pushing for that. I also could absolutely see a really cool dynamic where Wheeler Yuta is no longer the favored son, and he gets really pissed at his new little brother for taking away Claudio and Moxley's like weird sadistic love for Wheeler Yuta. They used to beat me up in training. Now they beat you up. I don't like that. I want the attention again. There's some really cool stuff you can play with this.
Sheldon Jackson says this is now officially the third year in a row the IWGP title at Forbidden Doors. The Forbidden is the catalyst for a heel turn in AEW with Garcia's tonight. Perry, Mox, now Garcia. I hadn't even thought of that. That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I had not even considered that, Sheldon. That's a really nice shout.
Yeah.
I wish I had more to add to that, but I had no clue.
That's great. That's a great idea.
Tim says, AEW has a face issue with all the injuries and DG turning heel. Should they turn Fletcher or someone else face to balance it out?
Takeshita.
No, Takeshita. And I think
that's
that
the one
Brodito are emerging as well.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank all of you for being here. Get your super chats, get your humper chats in as we wrap up. But Alex, you got a big night tomorrow night.
I have a big night. I got to rest up for it.
Yeah,
got to rest up for it. You know, I gotta re-look over my notes,
which are now up on all tiers.
Now up on all tiers. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do those. I mean, those are some notes. You know, like you got to actually. I didn't want to bore everybody with the full synopsis. So I just
let's hear some testimonials from the notes. These notes make me very excited for this review, says Lost Rhino. Quote, nobody is named Gord anymore, end quote. Kate needs to visit Canada more often, says Jeff.
Yeah.
Force of Williams says, quote of the night. Is Freddy played by Colin Hanks? If so, does he know his dad is Tom Hanks and he doesn't have to do this?
No, it's not played by.
Ian Henry says, this is going to be amazing. Brian says, my condolences to Alex and Kate. And Greg Cherry says, I sure hope those puppets have arrived. 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
I will be joining at the top of the show. I'm going to be giving you a little history of Tom Green, and I'll be joining throughout as well. FightfulSelect.com, of course, has a ton of stuff, but this will be on the main channel of Fightful. We're bumping the TNA post show to Overbook this week. Man. N. Simmons says, what's up with Eddie Kingston after Collision? Well, it looks like he's on his way back. And that's another big baby face that are getting
That's a huge baby face thing to do, for sure.
So you're turning to Takeshita, you're getting Eddie Kingston. He's coming back. You're having Brodito emerge. Listen, there is some help there. And, do you wish they still had Swerve and Ospreay? Yes. Omega's not going to be gone that long. He's gonna be back after Tokyo Game Show, I think. Wait, this isn't paywall? No, buddy. Main channel for free.
Yeah.
Hitting our podcast platforms as well, which, by the way, very proud to announce that we have officially joined Blue Wire Podcast, along with our good friends Chris Van Vliet and Denise Salcedo.
Right.
Blue Wire, I'm very excited to be a part of their family. When Denise and I went to Vegas a couple of years ago, they treated us and our spouses very well at Blue Wire Studios at the time. I do want to thank Red Circle for a fantastic 4+ years hosting our show. I haven't talked about this before, but we made $0 off the audio of our podcast for the first 6 years of Fightful. We paid to be hosted. We were not appropriately monetized, and Red Circle not only recruited us, but treated us really, really well and helped us make money on our podcast. So I would recommend them to anyone, and I want to thank them so much for the last 4 years and a lot of the great partnerships that they got us there. So big thank you to them. Please follow Fightful Espanol on our socials and tell Elon to reinstate Espanol on Twitter. 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, guys.
10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Thursday, that is, if you're watching on Thursday.
Yeah.
Until next time, my friends, we're out.